all. My name is Mars, and today I will be playing Strange Antiquities. This is the sequel to Strange Horticulture, which is a game I played on a channel a few years ago. I remember Strange Horticulture being a little spooky, very cozy, and a lot of fun, so I'm very excited to get into the sequel. Been wanting to play it on the channel ever since it was announced. So in this game, we return to the creepy town of Undermere, but this time, instead of a botanist, we play as a dealer of occult antiquities who has to identify arcane artifacts before passing them along to customers. Sounds similar to the first game, different in some significant ways. Either way, I'm really excited to get into it, so let's start a new game. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there is a lot to learn. I'm not 100% sure what a thaumaturge is. I know it has something to do with magic. Is it just someone who studies magic? Maybe. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, Strange Antiquities, in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. Rising dread, I remember that phrase from the first game. Ew. Yuck. Day 1, Thursday. Ooh, it's nice and rainy outside. There's the bell. What can I inspect these? Oh my god, time is going. Time is going. Okay, you're Eli. You're gonna give me my tutorial. I have been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care, with some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. There is an index in the back that may be useful to you. If in doubt, study it carefully. And remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. I think I'm gonna have to. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. I feel like it's gonna be longer than that. Use the arrow keys or WASD to navigate your shop. Oh, there's more than just what we can see. What's this? Okay. Bios. Eli White. Eli is a thaumaturge, a collector and curator of powerful objects. Objects that to the untrained eye may appear dull and lifeless, but that in the right hands, and armed with the right knowledge, can be a gateway to so much more. For Eli, the quest to unearth and understand each new object has been the driving force of his adult life. As owner of Strange Antiquities, Eli is a stern master. He knows firsthand what can happen if the right precautions are not taken. He doesn't tend to show much emotion, but he does have a more tender side. A side that is mostly reserved for the store's cat, Jupiter. And here's Jupiter. Jupiter is the thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found Strange Antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of Undermere and beyond. Oh, you're an outdoor cat? I'll keep that in mind. That makes me anxious. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. I love that his eyes follow you. So we do have a good little kitty in this game, and we can pet him. And hear him purr. Alright, can we inspect things? Bronze. An uneven texture. I have nothing to remark on the sense and sound. I have nothing to remark on inner perception, whatever that means. Ooh, and we can move this around. Alright, let's take a look at this. So this is our guidebook. Are we going to like acquire new pages like in the last game? So helpfully it doesn't have any actual pictures of the artifacts. It just has things that are related to it. What's this? Okay, we've got an index of important keywords that are mentioned. That's going to be helpful. That's going to be helpful. All right. Let's waste no further time and talk to a customer. Thomas Pope. Congratulations! Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. Oh, great. That's me. I'm a man of two loves, fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Hunter's boon. Use right-click on items to inspect them. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a look in the book before I do anything else. The Hunter's Boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. Okay, so I'm looking for something simple that looks like it was taken from a predator. That tooth is looking good to me. Really, it's gonna be the tooth. Yellowy brown, smooth but with hard ridges. Nothing to remark. Gives me a sensation of power. I'm guessing this. Oh, we can. Ooh. We can change shape as well as color. It's a more robust labeling system. I'm gonna label it Hunter's Boon. And I'm gonna hand this over to you. Identified! This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator, and closer inspection it gives a sensation of power. Okay, so it tells us when we have identified something, what could have led us there. That's nice. That's nice. That is what led me to this. Ooh, yes, book content discovered. Selenic totem. You can add labels to items while inspecting them. Yep, I knew that. What else can we identify? Should I start by trying to identify stuff, or should I just... Let's try to identify, like, the first two. An ecumenical is a receptacle commonly featuring a memento mori that acts as an aid to recollection, so it'll probably have, like, a skull in the middle. A memory cannot reside in both the mind and the ecumenical at the same time, and it cannot be stored indefinitely. When memory has been left for long periods, it can begin to emit unpleasant vapors. Ooh. An empty ecumenical, on the other hand, has an ominous presence pulling at the threads of one's mind. So something with a cheap metal of some kind, engraved detailing, nothing to remark. I see that locked cabinet. I don't like it much. I was expecting it to smell worse than it does. Leathery and bony, quite unpleasant to touch. Oh, gold, withered flesh, grim. I'm guessing that's not it. Alright, I don't know if I have enough information for this right now. I might need... The nights are drawing in again. I might need the guidance of customers. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. Alright. Shadow hold. Shadow catcher design, I recognize that. A shadow hold or a static vessel is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an ostatic spirit, the manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Is this it? It's made of clay. These markings have been carved in. It's pungent. Alright, that looks familiar. No, that's just like a dream catcher made out of bones. Oh, or is this it? Hold on. I think it's this, actually. Yeah. My heart feels lighter. I have nothing to remark. Raised detailing. Bronze. What's this called? A shadow hold? Oh no, I got it wrong. I should slow down and think this through more carefully. I was so confident in that one. If it's not that, then it must be this. Alright, I think the problem is they both kind of have this design. But in this one, it's kind of turned. And that one doesn't have that design. Alright, I think the first thing I need to do is unlabel this. Yes, okay. The item is a container of some kind. The design on the bottle is the same as a sketch. It was already tricky there. There is an auto-labeling option in the settings if adding labels by hand isn't your thing. No, this is part of the fun. Let's use green for the ones that are already identified. David Schaefer, the mailman. What's with all these ravens flying about Undermere today? I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. Yay, letters. We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the shin. Charlie Weathers. Is this a clue to something? Let's put that here. I do notice this indentation in the desk. Stanley Hume. I want an Ossic ring. Ossic. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. Okay. Ossic ring. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Corchin, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say they can hear Corchin's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to their ear. They keep vermin at bay. Okay, so it's gonna be a ring of some kind, and I'm going to listen to it and hear a soft sound like a serpent's whisper emanates from within. That's probably it, but let's look at other ring-shaped things. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. I keep forgetting to look over here. But I'm pretty sure it's this. And it's ossic, made of bone. Made of bone, this item satisfies the description macabre. Evocant. I'm gonna label that. Ossic ring. Can I move them around to be like in alphabetical order? Maybe I want to move things I've already identified off screen. I need to remember I can use WASD for this. I'm using mouse for it to click, but it's a little unwieldy. Edmund Bishop, important character it seems. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there and I'd like to know what. A voice of Cernunnos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Voice of Cernunnos. The name Voice of Cernunnos is used to refer to any bronze torque that has certain imbued properties. What is a torque? I don't know what a torque is. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Cernunnos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag and often wearing or holding a torque. So any one of the items he's holding, this staff, not the snake probably, these armbands, this belt buckle for lack of a better word, this necklace, they could be the torque. And it has to be bronze. Gold with a gemstone, not that. This could be it. I remember saying it was bronze. A lot of these are gold. That's bronze, but I don't remember seeing it. That's a bone. That's bronze, but it doesn't look like anything he was wearing. What is this? Bronze. But he wasn't holding. I see we have scales. We're gonna have to use that. Let's look at the ornithologist. That's why I knew so much about ravens. Edmund Bishop, the 14th Lord of Gleeson Castle, is a man of wealth and privilege like the 13 before him. He is a man who would be easy to despise, as his father was, but he is well loved by those who know him. Now retired, he was a professor of ancient languages at the University of Cumbria, but his real passion is birds. His students learn to divert particularly dense lectures on Latin declension by asking about local owl species, or by quizzing the professor on increasingly exotic bird calls. Edmund was too happy to oblige, spending hours recounting stories of his adventures in Africa and New Zealand. We love a man with a hyperfixation. I'm gonna guess it's this. Hold on. What else? An uneven texture. Let's take a look at the book again. Yeah, it has the two little bumps, like spheres on the end. I think it's this. Yes. Items made of bronze, similar looking item. Yeah, okay. I don't need to read those every time. Book content discovered. Let's label that. and move it over here. And maybe move a few things into these empty spaces that we can't see. Yeah. Alright, so we could end the day. Or we could take another look at this. A hidden desk drawer in the boatyard. Can we, like, go out and explore like we could in the first game? We probably have to. That's probably a way to get some new, pages for the book. But we can't, there's no way to actually go to the boatyards yet. Ooh. What is this? I just noticed. There's a down arrow. Huh. Interesting. Alright, I don't think there's really much else to do, so let's end the day. End of day 1. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Back Barrow. Ooh, what's this? I'm guiding it with my mouse. It's like a not paint by numbers, but like connect the dots. What is this? They're like manacles? An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Okay. Okay, that's familiar. Do we have, like, a map to go places? Ooh, we do have measuring things. Where is our map? We have an archive. Ooh, a spider. I know there's an option to turn that off. Ooh. What does that do? Ah. Ah, here's our map. It's in this drawer. We've got some other stuff in this drawer, too. Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Okay, that's important. Thaumic fields. All thaumic objects produce a field of sorts. Though invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over the thaumic lens. What is the thaumic lens? Is it this? Use shift to bring up the magnifying glass. Oh! Okay, so that's what the zoom option was about. These fields are not fully understood, despite attempts to study them over the years. Okay. There's our map. Are these artifacts? I'm gonna put them up here. I don't really know what they do, but whatever. Alright, map. So we can explore. So our hints are the boatyard. Can we go to the boatyard? Is that what it's telling us to do? And an escaped prisoner ran northwest. So we want to find the prison. The old jail is 10. Okay, so 10 is the old jail. Hid me in the first building he came to. So up here, it's northwest, right? Yeah, so this would be the first building he came to. Let's go here. This was a mistake. Okay. Ooh, okay, so we get Rising Dread for going to places that are a mistake. And we want to go to the boatyard, too. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotten timber covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. "You must be from Strange Antiquities," he says with a smile. He takes me into the dilapidated office where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of brown papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Alright. We got some pages. Apparently as an afterthought and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. "I have no use for it," he says. "Don't even know what it's for." Item? Item get? Alright, let's put it up here. Alright, I need to... Nope, I wanted to look at it. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. The old jail must not be... Oh, unless this is northwest? As they define it? This building? Alright. Let's try here. Yay, I got an achievement. The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search through its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all, when suddenly and unexpectedly, I'd uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. That is not what I expected. I expected the manacles to be the artifact. What is this thing? It's polished. A huge black gemstone streaked with red. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Okay. Customer time. Verona Green, I remember you from the first game. Ah, well that's just perfect. Undermere fizzing with fear over these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of the bed. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. What is this? Oh boy. There are 3 branches of thaumaturgy. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines represented by the following symbols. Celestial, Selenic and Draidic, of the earth of the moon. Diurnal, of the day and of the night. Individual, of the mind and of the body. Imbuements. Okay. Well, it's a good thing we have this book to reference for all of these symbols. Elements, that looks familiar. Materials. There's one for urine. Ew. Mundane elements. Planetary metals. Seasons, weather. Wicca. Okay. We will keep this right here by these candles, which is probably not a good thing. The occult scholar Verona Green. Verona has been a constant in Undermere for as long as the streets have had cobblestones and the churches have had bell towers. She is respected and feared, which she revels in, and she is revered and admired, which she tolerates. Her knowledge of the occult world is second to none, and her expertise has steered the citizens of Undermere away from catastrophe on more than one occasion. The near misses of the Selenic Flame and the Woken Dendru are 2 such events that spring to mind. Woken Dendru, that was from the first game. She is of the opinion that no problem is so great, no obstacle is so insurmountable, that it can't be diminished by a properly brewed pot of tea. I agree, Verona. In fact, I'm gonna take a sip right now. Yum. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horn shackle might be the answer. Alright, I'm guessing that this is going to test us on those symbols. Horn shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are run between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. Okay, so we need something with horns. It's probably this, unless it's this goat. This part feels smooth. It's rough and pitted. This part feels smooth. Okay, that honestly might be it. I think we're supposed to think it's this. Okay, the horns are ridged on that, so it's not that. The horns are pointy. Okay, I'm actually guessing it's this. It's not a necklace, it's a totem, it said. And the horns are smooth. Smoother than the rest of it, even. Yay! Okay. Oh, label. I'll come up with a better labeling system when the need arises. Right now, I'm just labeling whatever. Alright, I should put this in the archive. Can I put the card in the archive too? No, not necessary. Okay. More mail? At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. Okay. Thanks for the mail. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plow overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours. For the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. Okay. Come to the farm of Royston. Royston Farm at 30. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. But we got a cool thing. I feel like we're not going to have room on all these shelves for everything we want to pick up here. That goes in the archive. Julia Braddock. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Princess Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark, on important business, no doubt. Of course. I wonder if you can help me. Kat's business is always important. I'm visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone in the edge of town, out on Clambeck Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. Alright. Moon heart. We do not have anything for this. I'm sure... I'm sure it's like the name for something else. I'm gonna guess Selenic Totem. Yes. Because I played Hades too. I know what Selenic means. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Okay. We're going to need to reference the book for this. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Okay, so we're going to need to take a look at the symbols. I wish this had an index. Jeez. Selenic is a little circle on top and big circle on the bottom, and Noctic is big circle on inside the circle. Whatever, I'll recognize them when I see them. No. Not that. Achoo! Sorry. I remember I can use the magnifying glass. Maybe the owl? No, it doesn't have any symbols on it. No, not that. The bat, perhaps? Maybe I should take a look at inner perception. Because it would make us feel nice, right? Nothing to remark. Okay. I don't like how this makes me feel, so probably not that. Nothing to remark. Do I not have this? Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Slight out-of-body feeling like my hands belong to somebody else. No. Nothing to remark. I don't like it. Nothing to remark. Sense of foreboding. Darkness to it. Nothing to remark. Does this do anything? No. That doesn't have anything to do with this. Nothing to remark. Let's take a look at that. Oh, I'm not looking for the symbol. I'm looking for crescent shapes. Not the symbol as seen in the book, just crescent shapes. And they can be imbued with a sentiment of feelings such as love and joy. Okay, so I'm just looking for crescents. That's a bone, so I'm guessing it's not that. And here's the thing, I don't really recognize crescents in any of these either. My heart feels lighter. If I try that one again, it's gonna be like, nope, and that same one is gonna have given me Rising Dread twice. Crackling energy. I don't really recognize crescents in any of these. And then there's this cabinet. I'll try this one because it made my heart feel lighter. No. It was not the item I'm looking for. Huh. I don't have any other... Oh, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. I should go there. Where am I? Strange Antiquities is 29. The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I'm from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, well, take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me, but I don't like the thought of these unnaturals in my cellar. Okay, that doesn't really seem like it helps me. Nothing to remark on this one. Ah! This one has a moon on top. Maybe that one? I have nothing to remark. Okay. Try this one. No. Oh, I'm already gonna get to Rising Dread. It's terrible. This one has a crescent on it. Nope. How am I already stuck? Take a look at the book again. Carved totems. They sometimes feature crescent shapes. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Maybe this? I am overcome by a warm, loving emotion. It did say, and it does have a crescent up here. It's this one. It's this one. It's the owl. This is a carved totem. The owl is associated with the night. It bears a concealed crescent shape. Using the closer inspection tool tells me it imparts a feeling of joy. That was painful. But I got it eventually. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? I will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. So I need a binding seed or a Lee. Or a Leia. Or whatever. Or Zaya. I think that says. Yes, Zaya. These items are made of 2 distinct materials representing the mentic and the wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind, is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. And the Zaya, worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart, these innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Zayas are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. Okay, so do I want to make this girl fear guilt or fear? Surely I want it to be guilt, right? Because at this point we only think, oh, we want to make her stop stealing. Maybe there's something to fear in this town, and giving her something that will make her fear and paranoia amplified will make her start to warn people. I don't know. But at this point, I feel like, yeah, let's just make her feel guilt and shame. Okay. 2 distinct materials representing the mentic and the wixic. The winding path is described by a spiral. It could be this. Hard and cool. Red paint or perhaps blood. That has a spiral. I'm looking for a necklace though, is the thing. Nothing to remark in inner perception. Every sound has become both louder and clearer when I hold the bat totem. Makes sense. Yeah, it might be a problem because I don't know what I'm supposed to find here. Nothing to remark. Hold on. 2 distinct materials. Okay, so I'm looking for something made of two things. It could be this. Dark wood and stone. I don't like how this makes me feel. This could be the binding seed. And let's identify the Zaya. Just for thoroughness' sake. It can't be made of wood or clay. It's silver. My heart feels lighter. It's not that. I have a strong sense of being watched, so this is a Zaya. It's all made of bronze. So this is a Zaya, and I'm going to label it, but since it's not something that we're giving away, I'm going to label it in this kind of red color. And then not move it. And this, I'm gonna guess, is the binding seed. I don't know how this will affect the story, but... Two materials, it features a spiral surrounding a seed. Nice. One more customer. Emmett Burrows. They found a man just now in the house where all them ravens were. Wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are going to give me nightmares. All black they were. It was like he weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking a Libula to see us safely through. Okay. I can do that. Libuli are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative. There is a power in symbology, as the old thaumaturges knew well. Reassurance. There is a power in symbology. Okay. So I'm gonna have to go look for symbols here. And it said something about change. This one has symbols on it. It has this kind of upside down woman symbol with two lines, and it has a right side up symbol with two lines, and I don't know. Not any of these or these. No. Okay, so none of those symbols are in there. What about... Okay, so let me take another look at... What is it thought to be like? Offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change. An imbuement of wisdom. Wisdom. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. That's the symbol I'm looking for. Wisdom. It's this one. Raised detailing, and it's made of bronze. It has the symbol for wisdom on it. So I'm gonna label this Libula, and I'm gonna hand it over to you. Yay! Witch's fingers. Alright. I got uncomfortably close to Rising Dread there, but... Alright. A deep pain radiated down the side of the rider's head where he had sliced himself with a diverging hook, and his thoughts were scattered and torn. He could not see out of his left eye. Alright, one of these fun little mini games again, where we're not making a literal representation of what the item looks like. Made that mistake last time. And I have no idea what that could be even. Oh, is this like a block of buildings? I don't know. We'll figure it out next time. Last time, when I played the first game, I did 2 days at a time, 2 days per episode, and that seems like it's going to be good for this series as well. So, how do I save? When does it save? I'm guessing it saves at the end of the day. Can't be sure, but I think I'm going to end it here. Hopefully it's saved. And next time we will continue and look for that, what I assume is that block of buildings with one building labeled. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more strange antiquities.